Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Ladies Study Group in Kolkata, I would like to welcome each and every one of our members and our guests who have tuned in for our webinar today. The world as we know it has suddenly changed, and we all need to accept this period of crisis and transition and look ahead with hope and positivity. This is why my theme for my term is to embrace this new normal. In my inaugural month as president, I have made a conscious effort to do my very best to make these difficult times into the greatest ones for my members. And taking that forward, our event today is with music and the magicians who create it. Music is perhaps the best balm for our souls in these troubled times. Music is a universal language that we all understand. By appealing to our emotions, it has the ability to break down complex issues into things we can relate to, like love, friendship, fear, or loss. In this way, music expands our horizons and opens our minds to new ideas. In the words of the English musician Sting, if you play music with passion and love and honesty, it will nourish your soul, heal your wounds, and make life worth living. Music is its own reward. And so today, I am so excited to bring to you all three such musicians for whom music began as a passion, became an occupation, and continues to be an obsession. I would now like to introduce my first two guests, the amazing, dynamic, and talented duo of Salim Merchant and Suleiman Merchant.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
how's it going?
Hi,
Hi,
Dia.
welcome to
Thank you for
Ladies.
having us here.
Hi,
Hi, Dia. How you
welcome
doing?
to Super, and thank you for joining us at Ladies Study Group. Salim and Suleiman Merchant are today amongst India's most respected composers and have truly redefined the music scene in India. They have scored more than 100 films, including Kurban, Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, Fashion, Band Baja Barat, Aja Nachle, and many, many others. Their songs have been very inspirational, especially their sports anthem, Chak De India. They have also scored around 20 TV shows and composed several records, incorporating cinematic, folk, electronica, and Sufi influences to their music. They've composed for musicals, and their latest Hollywood film, Sold, has gained a lot of appreciation at various film festivals. The duo have enthralled audiences across the world with their live concerts, including performing at the opening ceremony of the FIFA World Cup. They were also nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for composing Save the Tiger, and they continue to spread their love all over the world, including with their collaborations with Lady Gaga and Enrique Iglesias. And I know that all of us here are also huge fans of their incredible episode for MTV Coke Studio, where they created a unique blend, blending traditional folk with contemporary music. So thank you so much for joining us at Ladies Study Group.
Thank you,
I
Dia.
would
Thank you
now
so
like
much.
I would now like to welcome Druv Kent and would request him to join us too.
Hey, Dhruv.
Thank,
Hey, hi guys, hi Dia.
thank you, Dhruv, and welcome to the Ladies Study Group. Druv Kent is a Singapore based ex banker who has been a full time singer, songwriter, and performer for many years now. His music has been supported by the UK's BBC Radio 2 and across radio stations internationally, as well as India, in addition to being playlisted on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. He sung for Bollywood, released one highly acclaimed album, released seven singles, and two Hindi songs, including a cricket anthem for last year's Cricket World Cup. You may have heard some of his music like Glitter and Dynamite, Back Home, and Hindustan Meri Jaan. Welcome to Ladies Study Group Dhruv.
Thank
I'm,
you, Dia. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
so I'm now going to hand over the screen to all of you. Do take it over from here, please.
Dhruv, sorry before you and sorry, Dia, before you say anything, I want to give a big shout out to all the lovely people who've joined in. our audiences from all over the world. Our very special friends, Yasmin from Toronto, Canada. We have Mandeepa, we have Kaniz, we have Banu Bajoria, my dear friend Kareem Premji has joined in as well. Anusha Kini, a super Salim Sulaiman fan. Saurik Bose and Ritu Agarwal, and so many amazing friends and fans who've joined in. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dhruv.
Thanks, Salim. Yeah, wonderful to be here. Firstly, thanks also to the Ladies Study Group for doing something as beautiful as this. I think, any group that celebrates music and the arts is always something I think to be treasured. So thank you, Dia, for doing that and championing that effort. And thank you, guys, Salim and Sulaiman. I was just trying to connect with Sulaiman just before you joined, Salim, about when we had first met. And it seems like it was 10 years ago or something like that, on a terrace where we were jamming in the middle of the night in Mumbai. But
I remember very well.
So I think it was
Anushka's house?
No, it was.
Wasn't it
Mohan.
Anushka's?
It was Mohan from Agni.
Yeah, but I think it was at Anushka's terrace, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, maybe at her place. Yeah.
I have a memory.
So welcome. So maybe we can start with, and thank you again, as you said, Salim, thanks to so many people joining from all over the world, and certainly from Kolkata and the Ladies Study Group themselves, all the members. Thank you so much for that. So let's dig into it. I thought we'll kind of break it into a couple of segments. There's certainly going to be some element of a music segment, because I think we've got a hint which has been very large. We want a little bit of music.
Okay, cool.
There you go. You're right there. Okay, so we'll get to that. But before that, maybe we can start with just understanding and taking a step back. But before that, also, I want to just see how you guys doing. How's life in this crazy world of COVID? How are you doing? Tell us that first, mate.
Well, we've been under lockdown now for more than 3 months. We started on exactly March 12th. And since then, we've been in lockdown. But the good thing is we've actually managed to survive this whole thing, because we went and picked up our entire studio and brought it home. So we are working from home. We just released a song for Eid. So it's business as usual, in the sense that we've been working. And once you have your setup with you, you can make music from anywhere, actually.
Yeah, it's true. Salim, what about you?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. I mean, we, in fact, not just the Eid song, but there are so many. There are 4 more singles which we've composed, and that features some of India's really incredible talent. Some young, some people who are really doing very, very well, and I'm really excited to release them. We've had a little bit of an unfortunate period this June month, because we lost a couple of friends, who were very close friends. We all know that Wajid, who was a very dear friend of ours, from the Sajid Wajid duo, we lost him, and of course our very, very close friend Sameer Bangara. You know him very well. Yes, it's been a bit of a sad month, and we had, so during, like Sulaiman said, during the lockdown, we had composed 5 songs. One of them was Malik Mere, which released on Eid, on Ramadan Eid, and that of course featured a lot of amazing singers like Salman Ali, Mehta, Raj Pandit, and that song is doing so well on our YouTube channel. People who haven't checked it out, please go check it out. But this lockdown period, Sulaiman and me have decided mutually to make it very, very, very fruitful. Give our people, our fans, our followers, our audiences who are sitting at home, treat them to good music, give them some great songs with different moods, and not make them feel, sort of in a lockdown thing. Give them as much as we can in terms of music, love, happiness, and positivity. So Malik Mere was the first one, and we have 4 more releasing very shortly. We thought we'll blank out June a little bit because of the the sad losses that we've had. We've lost
Okay.
some
Yeah.
very close friends, and we wanted to, in memory of them, we didn't want to release anything. But
Yeah.
coming up,
Wow. Wow. Actually, so music is such a positive force, and I'm so happy to hear. And musicians are human beings like everybody else, right? We're all feeling the weight of this, and it's so beautiful that you guys are trying to channel that and give it out. I mean, as musicians, as artists, I completely get it. This is what I go through as well. How do you kind of channel that and spread that joy? And it's infectious. It's beautiful.
So there is always the way. There are two ways to
Hmm.
go about this
Huh.
lockdown. One is the positive way, where you say that, hey, listen, I know we are under lockdown, and there's uh, nothing you can do about it. Really, literally the whole world is going through this, and let's take this forward in the positive manner, and spend this time in doing something good, something positive, something that you've always wanted to do,
Yeah.
and keep yourself busy. And the other way is to go down and say, hey, listen, I don't, this is such a bad scene. And so we've all taken it in a very positive manner and said, okay, listen, it's good to save your lives, be at home, be safe, and keep making music, entertain
Yeah.
people. We might do live concerts, online concerts. So, you have to reinvent yourself and look at things with a different perspective and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
we did
It really is a new word. Yeah.
we did a few virtual concerts. We've done a couple to for our Ismaili community,
Hmm.
which was for the Global Pandemic Fund. We
Acha.
did one for Eid, which was called Shukrana. We did
Oh,
one called Let's Folk Together, which was for our folk
I saw that.
musicians.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
speaking of which, we are supporting our own organization called Zaria, which is and for all you lovely people who've joined in, just to tell you a little bit about Zaria. It's an organization which Sulaiman and me started. It's an NGO that me and Sulaiman started 2 years ago, and it was started as a movement to give opportunities to folk musicians who live in remote areas in Rajasthan, in the villages of Barmer and Jaisalmer. And we started touring with them. We went all over the world for Jubilee concerts, and for we brought them to Singapore, for a concert. We took them to Russia, to Moscow, and so we traveled the world. We did like about 26, 27 concerts all over the world with these amazing folk musicians of Rajasthan, to create opportunities for them to have a better livelihood. Years passed, and then months passed, and after we didn't really stop touring with them, but we changed our set after doing 2 years with these
Yeah.
folk musicians. We decided that we should now kind of change our set. So, and they were trying to do concerts on their own, but not getting as many opportunities as they deserved. So we started supporting them, their livelihoods, by sending them some help, monetary help, and that
Yeah.
was not enough, especially at this time when the hospitality industry is completely shut down, tourism industry is completely shut down. So we started a fundraiser on Keto for these folk musicians, and the fundraiser is still active right now. It's 5 days to go, but we've tried to through these fundraiser money which we've raised, we've tried to send them help in terms of ration. So every family needs 700 rupees for their support. Like, we're giving them a little bit of food, some masala, some chai, some oil, some soap. 700 rupees ka food ka packet banta hai, and we send it to them, every family. So we're supporting 100 families, and
Wow.
this 700 rupees packet lasts for 1 week for one family.
Wow.
And so we're doing these kind of things, and we're trying to help them and support them, and it's bringing us so many duas, and it's bringing us so much of happiness. It's really filling our hearts with a lot of joy. And it's said that happiness is best felt when you give happiness to other people.
Hmm.
And we've really experienced that in these last 3 months. These people are really going through a crazy time. These folk musicians of Rajasthan, it's a, I mean, there's absolute no work for them. There's no opportunities for them. They really need help and support. So I appeal to all the listeners who are listening, and also to the study group that we are doing this incredible chat for, to support these four musicians. It's called Zaria, and you'll find it on Keto.
Yeah, that's with a Z, Zaria.
Zaria, Z-A-R-I-Y.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a very well made point. I think, this is, we're all, I think anyone on this call or on this meeting is in some ways has a sense of privilege, right? We're all able to do something, to share positivity, to share, as you're saying, monetary help and other help. And I think, as musicians, we're, I think, able to get attention around entertainment and, share that beauty, share that joy. And I think through those causes, so certainly, there's other things, I'm sure you guys have been involved in many other initiatives as well. And so lots of people are coming to me also, and I'm playing and I'm sending them the videos, and we're doing all these things. But I think all of them are worth supporting, really. Whether it's Rajasthan and whether it's Amphan in Bengal, and there's so many great causes, and this is a real time where people are in genuine need. So it's absolutely well said. Thank you for, and I know that you guys, this is not a new thing for you. This give back, right? This is actually part of what I've associated with you guys for many years. Knowing common friends and knowing you guys in the industry as you've been developing. I know that championing things and helping those, I think, less fortunate and less heard, and using your celebrity status, if you will, to do that, to share that. I think this is something that you've always done, and I applaud
so Zaria actually was actually started 2 years back, and while we didn't put it out there to anybody else, we were silently doing our own bit for the Mangania community. But it's come to a point where now the need of the hour is a lot more than what they have or we could do just by ourselves, and therefore we thought it's important that we reach out to our fans and to the rest of the world to come and support this cause.
Absolutely. Understood. Understood. We can put a link also in something after this. Maybe Dia can help us and just make sure people have the details of that.
I can if somebody can give me access to kind of like comment on the live comments as well while we chat, that would be really nice. I don't think I can comment, but maybe if I can.
Dia can maybe help in the back, or someone in the team. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I wanted to just take a step back before we take a step forward.
I'll just interrupt for a second. Salim, you can just send it to me on a WhatsApp, and I'll put it on the chat right away.
I'll put it on the private chat right now.
Perfect. And I'll just copy it down. Super.
Wonderful. All right. Awesome. Yes. Yes, Drew, over to you.
Yeah. So wanted to kind of take a step back. You guys have got a beautifully interesting background. Now, I grew up in Kolkata actually myself. And I grew up around a lot of music. I know you guys have grown up around a lot of music yourself. Classical music, Ismaili music, orchestral music, and it's led to this, right? So I want to kind of get a sense of how much music was it, and how did you end up doing this? And maybe that also talks to some of the Sufi roots that you guys have, and it comes so easily in some ways in the compositions. Or tell us a little bit about where it's come from in the early years.
So it actually started from being born, because our dad was a composer.
That's a beautiful place to start. Yes.
Yeah, because he was a composer, he used to work in the Chennai, Madras at that point, the Madras film industry, and he left in 1962. He left Madras, came to Bombay, and tried his luck with the Indian music industry and the film industry. Somehow it didn't work for him, and so he manufactured musical instruments.
Yeah. Okay.
And when we were born, we had a father who was a composer as well as a manufacturer / importer of musical instruments. And so for us, it was being born in an environment filled with music. And
Yeah.
that's how we grew up. Uh, we were given the choice to do whatever we wanted. We were given the choice to be an engineer if you wanted, a doctor if you wanted. My dad encouraged me and Salim both, to be a part of the business of manufacturing, which also I did with him. And that's how we grew up. Actually, we were allowed to learn whatever we wanted. So Salim and me both decided to learn the piano. Uh, so for me, my fingers were a little too old for learning piano. That's what my teacher told me. And we both started learning drums together. I, of course, loved the drums, so I stuck with the drums. Salim stuck with the piano,
Yeah.
and we both learned classical music as well. We learned the
Wow.
classical, the rag, and all of that. We learned all of that, and that was basically our childhood. For us, that was the fun elements of learning music, shutting myself in a room and practicing drums for 2 hours, 3 hours a day. And that's how we all started. Of course, then we started. For us, it was a passion, and it's a passion that's actually become a profession for us. And
Yeah.
that, I think, that's the most important thing, is where when your passion becomes your profession, you are never working a day in your life. You're always having fun, because you love doing what you're doing, and it's making you money.
Wow. Beautiful. So tell me then, how did it work then in the early 2000s? So that's the other, I think, step change. If I can look back at, if I look back at, see where you guys have come from and what. So I get the early years, right? That's beautiful. Um, then you start doing compositions, you start doing jingles, you start doing music scoring for soundtracks, and trying to get that big break, right, in for songs, and then one or two come, and then some more come. So tell us a bit about that struggle also before you became like a real brand. What was happening there, or maybe you already almost there, a brand already by
So
about then. But
we never thought about all these things as like, let's do this, so we'll get that. Let's do that,
yeah,
then we'll get there. Never ever thought
mm,
about it. Not like it wasn't a planned career move or anything like that. Music was our passion. From the very beginning, we only wanted to just focus on the passion.
mm,
Just as we were doing music together, people started saying, "Arey, ye do bhai hai, Salim Sulaiman. They are very good in what they do. Let's call them." And fortunately, we've actually been through that part where there were no computers, there was no programming, there was no technology. It was all live. Everything was live. So we've been through that as well. Like long back when I was just 16, 17, and Sulaiman was like 20.
yeah,
We've been part of those recordings where we had a live orchestra. I was playing keyboards, Suleiman was playing drums and percussion and drum machines, and it was all live. Everything was going live. We had a live orchestra, live brass, live flutes, all that, and we were recording live or with picture, like doing live background score. There was a shift in early 90s. In the early 90s, there was a shift in technology where people started using computers, not computers, but keyboard sequencers, and like
correct,
and
yeah, yeah,
making music on a computer and on a machine on a sequencer based thing. That was a big change.
yeah.
Fortunately, Suleiman and me were a little ahead of the game where it came to that, because we were, technology wise, we were a little bit ahead of the what was going on. Also,
Thanks to our
music,
dad, actually.
thanks to our
I
father.
see, and I can
And
see that even in your shows today. Even in your shows today, you're just very comfortable with different kinds of
yeah,
technology and embracing different things. Sorry, yeah, keep going. Yeah.
check it out. So musically, we were, we- and fortunately, musically, we had the experience of working with the renowned composers like Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji, and we as musicians, we had worked with different composers. So so what happened was, when the shift happened in early 90s, people started calling us And they started calling us as Salim Sulaiman. Arey, wo Salim Sulaiman ko bulate hain. Let's call Salim Sulaiman. These two brothers. And we were really young. We were like, early 20s and, whatever. So it was very, very, like just karte, like one day we get a call from a producer saying, oh, do you guys do background scores? Like we were working on a jingle and we were working on a very big commercial. And the sound was very orchestral. And the director who was sitting in the studio next door happened to be Sanjay Gupta. Sanjay Gupta, the guy, director of Kate, Kabil, lots of movies.
Yeah.
So he came, he was hearing this orchestral sound and he comes to us and says, you guys are like, I'm hearing a very beautiful international kind of orchestral sound. Are you guys into movies? So we said, of course, we we would like to. So he said, I'm doing a movie called Hamesha. This is the Saif Ali Khan Kajol film back then in the 90s. So I said, cool, we'll do it. That was the first film as a background score. And we did that and it got nominated for a Filmfare Award as a background score. And karte, we started doing lots of scores. We did Bhoot, we did Ab Tak Chappan, we did Hum Tum. Hum Tum एक बहुत important piece था where Abhishek Bachchan and Rani Mukherjee are getting married. There was a piece, and the director, the producer Aditya Chopra asked me, "Have you really composed this?" It was like a song, shadi kind of space, and it was a song which we kind of did in the movie Hum Tum. And so I said, yeah, we've composed this, and it's like I thought we'd do it like a song. So he recognized a spark there, and he said, you know what, I want to work with you on a movie. That next film which we signed was Neil and Nikki. While working on Neil and Nikki, we got offered Carl, which was a very big film, Taba Taba and all that.
Yeah, that was big, yeah.
And then after we finished Neil and Nikki, the day we finished Neil and Nikki, Aditya Chopra said, listen, I'm really happy with this album. I want to offer you a very big film. It's called Chak De India. It's a sports film. And I'd like you to read the script. And so it started from there. It reached a point where we were doing a lot of songs, a lot of big films. We did Aja Nachle after that. While working on that, we were doing Kurban and so many movies, fashion. Then Band Baja Barat happened. I remember during Band Baja Barat, during Kurban, I was working on a song which was very it was more like a prayer. And so this song was composed like a prayer, and
lovely, yeah.
And Karan Johar heard it and he said, I think this song will be really massive in this movie Kurban. You should do the film Kurban and you should have this song. I said, Karan, this is like a prayer. I don't even know whether this has any film kind of sound. Or he said, you know what? That is what will take this song much ahead. Through a film, even though it's a Sufi devotional song, if it has the push of a mainstream film, the song will really reach everybody. And I was like, okay. I really wanted a big singer to sing it, like a classically trained, renowned singer, like someone like Ustad Rashid Khan. But Sulaiman pushed me to sing the song because there was some kind of like a pure honesty and a very devotional way I was singing it. And Karan also said, no, let's not go with any big singer and all. Salim, why don't you try singing it? And so this was my first playback song which I sang, and people really liked it. So meri himmat badh gayi. I got that push from the fraternity, from the fans, and aise karte karte, then Band Baja Barat and Evi Lut Gaya and Shukran Allah, and so many more songs happened. And then we started getting calls for live concerts. And I was very reluctant because we were very happy in the studio, chilling, making music. But you know what? We said, let's just do it. There was a show which was for cancer patients, CPA, Cancer Patients Association. It was a charity show, and they wanted Sulaiman and me to do a little 1 hour performance. And we put a band together, and we said we did some rehearsals, and we had some songs like Ashaye from the movie Iqbal, and Ye Hausla from the movie Door, and all our songs like Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi and all that stuff. So we had a bunch of songs which we could have performed, and we put together a set and we performed for 1 hour, and people loved that show so much that till date we've never looked back. It's been 10 years we've been doing so many concerts. So from it's just been it's just been people's love, one after the other.
So let me firstly clarify one of the points you made, because I think people who are on this might not actually appreciate when you said about a few minutes ago that you were doing everything live, and that's what I think helped you get picked up, or but I think more than anything else, it's about the honing of the skills. And I think that's what I think has probably held you in very good stead all these years later. When you are performing live, you got a take, you got to do it then, or you mess it up, you do it all over again, and that's it.
No, you can't do it all over again.
You can't do it again. If it's live, right? So the point
everybody has to do it all over again also.
Yeah, everybody has to do it all over again. That's right. So, and everyone's looking at you like, don't make us.
It's happened a couple of times when I was working with this music director called Amar Haldipur. He used to do a lot of background scores, and I was one of the musicians on his thing. And there would be about 50 musicians sitting. So there'd be like the whole orchestra, and there'd be a flute player, a percussion player, and I'd be playing live, and there would be another 3-4 keyboard players. If you messed up, everybody's looking at you like, dude, lunchtime ja raha hai. Come on, let's do this here. So you honed in on that so well, and you learned that art and that skill to be precise. It came to a point where there used to be 3 crosses when when your piece was starting. So it'd be a cross, cross, cross on 1 second each. On seeing the first cross, you'd be able to give tempo for people to come in together. With the tempo that you are supposed to be in. So with the
like
first
a metronome
cross,
like a metronome counting kind of thing.
Like a countdown in 2 seconds. You have to give a countdown of whatever BPM is supposed to be on, and you have to come in exactly on the third cross. So you learn skills that it's impossible to learn. These are skills that you have to be there. You have to be a part of it to be able to pick up those things and learn it.
Beautiful. That's what makes it.
I'm going to take just 10 seconds and just give a shout out to all these lovely people who've joined in, so that we keep the interaction going on Facebook and on YouTube. So thank you so much, Shruti. Shruti is actually complimenting you, Druv, to bring out a lot of stories between me and Sulaiman. Alice is watching from Lancashire, England. Shama Shri, thank you so much. Yes, we will do a concert very soon, hopefully in Kolkata. Anjali Patnaik, thank you very much for that. There's so many people. Salma Jivani, thank you very much. Reshma is also joined in. Reshma Bhanji. I like to give a shout out to all these people who've joined in, because these guys are always supporting us. Salma Jivani, Yali Madat to you as well. Thank you so much for supporting our Keto fundraiser. The link is up, so you guys can kind of. Ritu Agarwal, thank you. I know you like Ali Maula, and we will keep doing that. Yes, over to you, Druv, again.
That's great. No, thank you. Yeah, so the Keto thing, Diaz put it up in the chat.
On.
So I think one of the questions I do have, and I want to get into more music. So every time you think of a song and you want to play the song, please go ahead, because I think there's a lot of that will kind of keep the rest of the audience well nourished.
I can do it every time. Like I can do it like continually. But I think people need to know a little bit about from what you have to say, what the initiative is, and a little bit about us. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So my next question would be about how do you creatively, and this is a very general question. I know as a creator myself of music, I know it's not a completely fair question, but it's an open question, right? The idea is how do you creatively shape it between the two of you, and how do you? And obviously, it's not static, is my guess. Okay, let me tell you my hunch. My hunch is one of you, and I think it's Salim, will come up more melodically, and groove and rhythm will be more Sulaiman. But that's just me as a musician giving a view, and I'm sure it's always different. But I'd like to hear how you guys do it. Yeah.
No, you're pretty much bang on, but that's
Really?
the thing is, it's all so fluid that it could change. There are sometimes when I'm just going through my whole library of sounds and in my whole creative space, and I'll find something melodic, and I'll send it to Salim and say, "Hey, listen, this sounds great. Can we put something like this into this song?" Or Salim will find some groove, and he'd say, "Hey, how's this? How does this work?" So we bleed into each other. There's no fixed format that Salim make the melodies, Sulaiman make the grooves. I could find I could be messing around and come up with a bass line, which suddenly Salim will say, "Hey, this sounds nice."
Yeah.
And this is how we actually sat one day and made Jago Zara. This song which we had done for this girl band called Viva. I was actually sitting with my laptop. I had just got my laptop, and I had found some breakbeats from BT. This guy who's a fantastic musician, engineer, designer, sound designer. So I got some grooves from him, and I was sitting and making some stuff. And Salim said, "Listen, just finish this one background piece." So I was trying to work with the visual in mind, but I was actually working on a completely
different
electronica breakbeat, drum and bass kind of a groove, and adding melodic stuff to it, and various different things. And when I played it to Salim, he said, "Dude, you're wasting this on this background score.
Let's use it." Yeah, there's something
He
here.
said, it's there, it's great. We'll use it in the background score. He said, we have to save this for something special because this one is it's killer. And that when we did that finally in Jago Sara, this song, it was so unique. People didn't know where and how this whole thing came about. And it's like a lot of breakbeat chops and pitch shifts and a lot of technological gizmatic stuff which I had done on it. And so we bleed into each other. There's no stopping anybody.
Yeah. Salim, any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So some people, I'm also kind of, while we talk, I'm also very interactive on the chat that is going on, because that's how I'm always, answering a few questions. A lot of people are asking us how was Mere Mehboob made, Mere Mehboob, which was very recently. We did this Times of Music show, and we recreated Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji's song called Mere Mehboob Qayamat Hogi. And it was just like one of those evenings where, we got to know about the show from the makers of it, that we'll be in conversation with Pyarelal ji from Lakshmikant Pyarelal, and he will create one of our songs, which was Shukran Allah, recreate. So it was Lakshmikant recreating Shukran Allah, and we recreating Mere Mehboob, and discussing how we did it. And it was a big task for us, because Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji have so many songs. How do you pick one song, right? But also because I wanted to sing it, I felt like it would be nice for me to pick a song that suits me. Obviously, all the songs were either sung by Kishore Kumar Sahab or Muhammad Rafi Sahab, and no one can imitate, or not imitate is the wrong word. No one can recreate
Recreate,
these
Kishore. Yeah.
Kishore.
Yeah.
No one
Or
can
Mohammed Rafi.
recreate
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
talents.
Yeah.
But I somehow felt like maybe Mere Mehboob would be a decent choice. Uh, and like, so we were in the car, Suleiman and me were returning from a show, going back to the hotel, and we were in the same car, and the show got over. It was an amazing concert which we did in Delhi, and then we were returning back to the hotel, and I was just singing the song, and Suleiman just had this groove in his head, which was I was just like, मेरे महबूब कयामत होगी आज रुस तुम 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 so it was like that. Like, I mean, I was like,
Lovely.
this song, if we do it like a very modern, contemporary way, it's a simple, like, a simple bass line and a guitar, like. मेरी महबूब कयामत होगी आज रुसवा तेरी गलियों में मोहब्बत होगी. And I was like, okay, this is a very emotional and beautiful song, and maybe this groove which Suleiman came up with would. So it was, these things just happen. You can't really plan that. Like, I'll do this and you do that. It doesn't work like that. Music
Yeah.
is a
Yeah. Yeah.
very, very natural process. I'm sure you know this, Dhruv, but this is for all our listeners and viewers who are watching us. It's a very, very, very organic process. It happens it happens sometimes when you wake up. It happens sometimes post concert. You get ideas anytime, and you have to just have a clean spirit and a positive vibe all the time. And it's easy to make songs when you have happiness in your heart and you want to share goodness with people.
There's
Things
so
come
many
easy.
times.
Things become easy.
So many times that Salim's messaged me or called me at 2 o'clock in the morning,
I
awake,
was just going to say. Yeah.
and or I've messaged him and said awake. I actually don't have to message him. I just have to call him because he'll be awake. I know that. And just discuss a thought that, hey, listen, what about this
Yeah.
song? Send me a message or send me a small clip on WhatsApp, and he'll say, what do you think of this? And I'll put it down onto my computer and start chatting with it and send it back to him and say, hey, what about this? So it's one of those kind of things. There's no stop to it, and you just have to go on. Just keep going.
Yeah. Some of my best lyrical missing pieces, or even something a melodic missing piece, comes at 2 o'clock in the morning. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it comes. It's fortunate because it comes, but it's unfortunate because you have to wake up. If you don't wake up, it's kind of fleeting and it's gone. And then you have to search for it in another sleepy moment where it might come back, and you can't depend on that. So I just I get up, I record it in my gruff voice, some kind of note, then I'm try and sleep, but it's hard then because you're into something. So I loved it the way you changed the meter of the song, of the delivery also, right? Because it's the ting 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 ting. So it just changes the whole way of delivery of the song. Also, as opposed to the original song is ding ding dang ding ding. It's like a different feel of the original song, and you're going to
it has that very retro.
Yeah, beautiful. So, Acha, you have to sing Shukran Allah before we move to the next topic, since you already mentioned it. It is on my list. I don't know about anybody else's.
I thought you would say it in a more organic way, that I would bring in the story of Qurban and probably go there. But
do it. No. Give me the story of Qurban.
Let me tell you how this started. There was a scene in the film where which Renzel De Silva, the director and the writer of the film, had written that the main character, which is played by Saif Ali Khan, goes to the mosque and he does his sajda and says, "Thank you, Allah, for the love I have." He just says that, and then it cuts to the first playback song. So what had happened was we had made the song, which was नजरों से नजरें मिली तो जन्नत सी मैं की फिजाएं लब ने जो लब छू लिया तो आसमां से बरसी दुआएं ऐसी अपनी मोहब्बत ऐसी रूह है इबादत हम पे मेहरबान हो जहां. We had made the song anyway, but I felt like ये गाना ठीक है मतलब this is a love song, but how do we connect it to Saif Ali Khan saying thank you Allah for the love I have? And one day, just like sitting on a piano, I just thought of, which is part of our prayer anyway. Shukran Allah, walhamdulillah. Shukran Allah, walhamdulillah. Shukran Allah, walhamdulillah. Shukran Allah, walhamdulillah. नजरों से नजरें मिली. It went in very naturally from Shukran Allah to this song, and I thought that this would be a really really good start. I didn't know that the song will be called Shukran Allah. I just felt like we'll just have this chant as a as like a Sufi prayer kind of a thing.
Like a refrain. Like a hook.
Like a hook.
Yeah, a hook. Yeah.
But even.
And that's it. I mean, this song suddenly started. Everybody started liking it.
We actually didn't think this was the big song.
Yeah,
we didn't think this was the big song.
No.
We actually thought Ali Maula was the big song, and because it was such a powerful song.
It's very powerful. But actually, if I think about this song and the way you just described it to me, it's got such a beautiful structure. The verse. It's got a beautiful slight pre-chorus. It's got a Western structure, and then it goes, Shukran Allah, just goes boom. And, just like the high point, it's soaring, it's there.
It's so funny. I was sitting in my car. We had just finished mixing all the songs. And I usually, when you finish a mix and you're just about going into a mastering session, I like to listen to all the songs in my car because that's your final destination of checking out every song is the car. So sitting in the car and I had my friends along and we were all going somewhere and I just played all the songs to them. And so first I played Ali Maula, then I played Shukran Allah, then Dua Hai. I was like, Honey, play this song again, play this Shukran Allah again. So I said, this is kind of, the whole shift is happening because I thought Ali Maula would be the one. And I said, no, here, Ali Maula again. They said, no, I want to hear Shukran Allah. It's a damn good song. That's when we realized that Shukran Allah was the big song and Ali Maula would come way later after that because this was the song that was getting to the people directly, immediately.
Yeah, it is just beautiful. I mean, I am not taking away from any other song, and I know every song is equal as a creator. You feel like this is my baby, and and someone else says, "Yaar, ye bahut pasand hai," and you're like, "But what about what are you trying to say about all the other songs I've done?" Rather than just be generous and say thank you, that's what you should say. But actually, you're thinking also, "Yaar, what about the other song?" Are you trying to say that the other song was not as good? So but that's beautiful. Okay, give us another. What about the first time I met you guys? Ye Hausla had become a major hit, and that was I remember Salim, you just came and just played it on the same terrace that we were talking about. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful starry night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It was just that was a real dream, right? But why don't we, if you can? I'll set the starry night. You do the rest.
I'll give you a little story about Ye Hausla. This is, I mean, because people probably don't know about this. So we were working on this movie called Door, which was obviously kind of the story with Aisha Takia and Gul Panag, and there was the scene in the film where, and we've always made music for movies, right? So all our songs are very reflective of the story and the situation. So Nagesh
Right.
wanted a very inspirational song, but the situation is a little bit sad because Gul Panag is now in search of one lady who she doesn't know where. I mean, she doesn't know where she lives in Rajasthan. She kind of knows which village she is in, but she has no idea of the address. And something has happened between the two husbands, Gul Panag's husband and Aisha Takia's husband, and
Hmm.
Aisha Takia has lost her husband, and Gul Panag's husband is the person who's
Is to be blamed.
is convicted
Yeah.
for the crime. And this happens in the Middle East. And according to Sharia law, only the wife of the deceased can sort of take that crime away. I mean,
I
take
see.
that the this thing away,
Oh,
the punishment away.
The punishment.
Can forgive.
Can
Yeah.
forgive, yeah. She
Yeah,
she
yeah.
leaves in search of this lady. तो हम लोग ने एक गाना बनाया था which was a very एक तरफ तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें है तेरी दूजी ओर, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर. The movie's name was Door. So we had
Yeah.
just sort of roughly put these lyrics on this tune.
Yeah.
एक तरफ तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें है तेरी दूजी, मौला मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर. So Nagesh heard it and he's like, यार ये गाना बहुत sad है. I want a positive song. I want to give a feeling of hope. So I was very disheartened because I really liked this melody and I felt like maybe
Yeah.
really nice.
It's very pretty. It's a little sad. I get what he's saying, but it's very.
Yeah, I know it's emotional,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but I want to. But anyway, so
Yeah.
we started working on a happier song, you know.
Major chord.
ये सिरा कैसे झुके, ये आरज़ू कैसे रुके. इसके ओरिजिनल वर्ड्स थे, ये सर हौसलों से कैसे झुके, ये दिल आरज़ू से कैसे रुके, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या, धुंधला साहिल तो क्या. I said, ये सब तो ठीक है, but ये सर हौसलों से कैसे झुके is too much. Can we
It's a
not cut
little
out?
too mouthy.
Yeah, can we not cut out sir and dil and make it
Hmm.
ये हौसला कैसे झुके, ये आरज़ू कैसे रुके, मंजिल मुश्किल तो क्या, धुंधला साहिल तो क्या, तन्हाई दिल तो क्या. It was a travel song, so we thought we'll add this chant. तो इस तरह से ये गाना बन गया. And Nagesh, I mean, he was so happy. And those days, Shafqat Amanat Ali Khan was staying in India, was in Bombay, and he had.
Yeah.
I really liked that one song of his, which was called Khamaj from the song
Fusion.
from Fusion, yeah, from that band. Khamaj was a सावन बीत जाए महरवा. बहुत अच्छा गाना था वो. It was a really beautiful song, and we called him, and he came to the studio, and he just did it. It was like amazing.
He
Nailed it. Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I remember when he came, the song was slightly lower for him, and
Yeah, it wasn't this
he
scale.
came and said, yeah.
ये हौसला जैसे थोड़ा सा ऊंचा करते He's like, भाईजान थोड़ा, he calls me भाईजान, भाईजान थोड़ा ऊंचा कर दे गाना.
My
So from
God.
ये हौसला, ये हौसला,
Wow.
कैसे झुके. नहीं भाईजान थोड़ा और ऊंचा कर दे. हौसला. So I looked at him, he was
Yeah.
not happy. He said, "Can you, भाईजान थोड़ा और ऊंचा कर दे." ये हौसला. He went that high. So I'm like, he really sings very high, you know.
6 notes high, if I remember, Salim.
No, 4
Right.
notes high. Sang
4 notes high.
Yeah.
That's amazing, though. And his voice is so pretty. It's amazing, amazing. But what a story! And that's lovely. I'm loving the.
And did you realize where the other song was from?
No, the one, that original door.
तेरी धड़कन थी, सांसें तीजा तेरा रंग था, मैं तो जिया तेरे ढंग से, मैं तो तू ही था मौला, तू ही मौला, मेरे टूटे ना ये डोर,
Ah,
तेरे लेने मेरी जान. That song
beautiful.
fitted in really well in Chak De India.
Yeah. So when you have a beautiful song, and if you get a piece of feedback on it, park it. I think that's because you will find a better. It's a fit. It's a fit. Very
It's,
to be
it's
fitted.
it's about fitting it in the right zone, in the right situation, in the right film, or just fitting it for yourself. Because this is the new thing now. We don't do films. We do independent music, which is for us, I think, is the new discovery
Hello.
of
Yes.
creating music for yourself, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But there are a lot
Okay.
of people also asking that why are Salim Sulaiman missing from the film scene? Why are Salim Sulaiman not doing movies? And Dhruv, that could be your next question or possibly your last question. Well,
Okay.
I'm
Go
sure
for it.
a lot of people know already what's going on. The current news, everybody's tuned in about the music mafia, and there's nothing for me to hide here because now it's out in the open. I've been very quiet about the whole fact that these remakes of film songs, which certain labels have taken up, are really killing the creative space for all the composers. That's one thing. Second thing is having multiple composers walk into a movie. There are only 4 songs or 5 songs in a film, and there are 5 different people doing songs. Me and Sulaiman are completely not with that. So if somebody comes to us with with the intent and with the love that Salim Sulaiman, we want you to do the music for this movie. We love your music. We love your songs from Iqbal, from Noor, from Chak De, from Band Baja Barat, whatever fashion.
Yeah.
Can you do us a score, a music piece of 5 amazing songs? We would happily do it. But these days the
Okay.
scenario is a little bit different. People come with a lot of producers, directors come with a lot of love in their hearts, but then the record companies control a lot of the mafia-ness, which is really killing a lot of creativity, and a lot of composers are not giving into that. A lot of people have come and spoken also about it, and hopefully the labels will change their strategies, and hopefully we will have a brighter future for music.
Yeah. I hear that. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be amazing if because I think we went through a period of beautiful film music, and I think the film music is not in the last few years. I think since the industry structure has changed, I think the music has suffered.
Well,
But-
I see it in a very different way, Dhruv.
Okay.
The way I see it is, at the end of the day, where is this music being heard? You tell me, where are you hearing your music? You're hearing it on YouTube. You're
YouTube.
hearing it on YouTube. You're hearing it on Apple Music. You're hearing it on Spotify. Or
Correct.
you're hearing it on Ghana. Any of these.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Savan ya kuch, yeah. Correct. Yeah.
And when you're hearing it, you're not specifically going and saying कि मुझे ये film का गाना सुनना है. You're going and listening to a playlist, right?
Yeah.
You will hear
Or searching a song.
or you'll
Yeah.
search for a song. But usually it's always like, okay, let me hear the top 10 playlist. Let me hear the Friday playlist. Let me
Yeah.
hear what's going on global top 20, top 50, top 100, or India top 50, top 100. Where does it matter if it's part of a film or not part of a film? It doesn't make any difference right now. So,
Yeah.
so the whole idea of the whole perception that film music is what you should be doing is completely wrong at the moment, because right now anything you do, it has to be good music that can penetrate and reach your fans, and that's it. You don't need to
Yeah.
be a part of any film or to have any actor actually doing your song. You can do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's even better.
No, and it feels more real. I mean that's been my story. But I think I completely get. So I'm completely on that page. I get that
It's the
completely.
evolution. It's the
Yeah.
evolution of the music industry, and
Yeah.
it's a constant evolution. It's growing. This time, it's growing in the right direction. Hopefully, with the
Yeah.
independent music scene, there's a lot more artists that are creating their own songs, creating their own labels, making music, not specifically for a film or anything, just music, good music.
So the last question I have, which is is more a music question again, and we need to hand it back to Dia. But just give us one more minute, Dia, because the question I have is about the live scene right now, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big source of revenue. So coming back to where we started, or we kind of went into this, right? About whether it's the Rajasthani folk musicians, or musicians in Bengal, in Kolkata, or everywhere around the country, or frankly around the world, right? Musicians have always struggled. Let's start with that. It's a very small piece of the musician pie, which is kind of just genuinely makes a good living from it, right? So that's the first
Yeah,
thing I would say.
yeah.
But we know that now is a particularly difficult time. And you guys have had a lot of success, touch wood. You've been very busy on the road. You've been working really hard. I have to also applaud you for the hard work and how you've kind of committed to it, like no one else almost, really. So that's another thing. But you've been playing a lot live. With that revenue gone, not only for you, but just broadly, where do you think this is going to change, or how do you think it's going to change? What time frame are we looking at? Do you think online monetization is possible of gigs, or is that just for charity you can do it, like that's okay, but will people really pay? Because there's a mindset problem there, right? So I'm just it's a complicated issue, but over to you.
It's
It's
not. It's
actually
not.
not very complicated. It's not complicated
Okay.
at all. It's a everything is new in this
Yeah.
era at this stage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything has to be tried at
Yeah.
least a couple of times. So it's not like live. How will we do online music? How will there be customers? Will there be people who will be patrons? How will this whole thing work? You have to try it. If
Koshish
you
karo.
try
Yeah.
it and if it works,
Yeah.
if you try something and it works, that's great. Otherwise, then you move on to the next way to find out how to actually monetize your money.
Yeah.
So it just keeps going. It's so many different avenues and so many different ways to do this. You just
Okay.
have to keep
Salim,
exploring them.
yeah.
I feel.
Salim,
I
what
feel
about
like.
you?
I feel like see, in Bombay, shootings have started a little bit, not on a big scale, but like 20, 30 member crew, shooting of ad films, shooting of So I have a feeling that, I mean, if people want to watch a concert of Salim Sulaiman, you can easily book us. We are going to get together in a nice live concert kind of a venue. Set up our equipment, our lights, our this and that, whatever, and play for you, and we'll stream it live. It's not very difficult. It's just like we are streaming this, Dhruv.
Yeah.
We can stream that as well through on Facebook, on YouTube, or it would be on a private server, on a private scale, where maybe it
Yeah.
could be Zoom, it could be some kind of a StreamYard, but it is privately this thing for people who want to pay and join in, or want to watch it free, whatever, however you want to monetize it. You
Yeah.
can do it. You can either get a brand on board, to sponsor it. Of course, these are difficult steps. You can't. It's not like it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but it's doable. Just like shoots happen. Our band members are we're about 12 of us, and then the technical crew, 4 of them. So 20 people gatherings, even though the lockdown is strict, 20 people with proper what do you call it? Those PPE kits and all that stuff is happening. If you keep that social distancing, you keep 3, 4 feet, 5 feet away from each other. You can perform. Cameras can capture it. I mean, we've just decided to do it. Life has to be on. We have to be careful. To wear a mask, you have to do all the sanitization stuff, all that stuff. But it's possible to keep life going. Humans are very adaptive. We can do it.
And just to add, because I'm also people have been approaching me for the same thing, for the live monetization idea, and I've been struggling with this. So that was more just, I think, what I'm over the last 3 days, I'm considering what to do and how to do it. So I think even I'll be kind of launching something soon on that. But okay.
You have to be Nike. Just do it.
Just do it. Swoosh. Dia, can we have you back in our lives?
Hi, that was so incredible, and I'm feeling like a party pooper now coming on and spoiling the fun. Seriously, music has been such a unifier and such an incredible force, and I think we've all felt that today. So before I move on to my audience questions, I have a question for all 3 of you, because I know you're all fathers, and we were talking about this the other day together. What did each one of you do for Father's Day? So we can start with you, Sulaiman. What did you do for Father's Day?
Well, I didn't do anything, but my daughter actually gave me this beautiful card, which I keep right next to me, as you can see.
Oh, lovely.
And it's really beautiful.
Very sweet. Yeah.
And we actually had a small little picnic at home, where we laid down a mat and sat down on the floor in the patio. So it feels like you're outdoor, but you're not outdoor. You're at home. And we had some lovely, beautiful snacks, and it was sweet.
Lovely. What about you, Salim? What about you?
So like Sulaiman said, even I didn't do anything, but my daughter gifted me a recital.
Wow.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she played for me.
Lovely.
And I'll post the link on
Lovely.
on the chat on Facebook here, so people can watch it.
Please do.
And she just played it for me. She said, "Happy Father's Day," and I was like, "Okay, cool, thank you." That was the best gift I could have, because I mean, I've always wanted to practice and play and stuff like that. She's been very busy because she's now she's gone to 10th standard right now. She was in 9th standard. So, but she decided that day to make me a little happy by playing this piano piece.
Dhruv, what about you?
Well done. I got, actually, this is the first Father's Day that I got a card from both my boys. I think there was an inordinate amount of pressure delivered by my wife, Neha. So I think suddenly I got 2 cards, and I've never had 2 cards almost other than a birthday. And then I found she also got a card for Mother's Day, which they had missed. So they gave her a card just to make her feel happy as well. But it was lovely. Very touching, very sweet, lovely words from both my boys. But no piano recitals. I was, so I think I'll follow up with that.
Okay, and now I'm going to ask you for just one word that comes to your mind when I say the following. So I'll start with you, Sulaiman. What is technology? Just one word, technology.
The need of the hour.
Very well said. What about you, Salim?
Technology, there's only one word that comes: soul. If you mix technology and soul, music.
Wow, lovely. Dhruv, what about you?
I think necessity. Embracing it. Yeah.
True. And one more, airport. What does airport mean to you, Sulaiman?
Missing it.
True, true. What about you, Salim?
Office. Airport was my office.
Office. Was your office?
Airport was my office.
Interesting.
It felt like it every time I go to the airport, I feel like I'm meeting same people, and I missed that.
Okay. And Dhruv, what about you?
Like airport. Well, I'm delighted I'm not having to fly as much. To be honest, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy in this online world. I think there's a certain different sense of calm. I've traveled too much, I think, in my days. So
It's crazy.
Ah.
There was a point in time when we were at the airport almost 3 times, 4 times a week.
yeah,
And we have not seen the airport in the last 3 months. And sometimes you just feel a sense of relief in the initial stages. And then now
yeah.
we're feeling like,
True,
oh my
Wi-
God, I'm missing the airport
Withdrawal.
now.
Yeah.
true, true.
Withdrawal symptoms. Yeah.
And,
Yep.
one last question from me before we move to our member questions. These you can use as many words as you want. Who is the one woman who inspires you the most? Suleiman, you can go first.
One woman that inspires me the most.
True.
Uh, I can see my wife has logged in, and if I don't take her name, she's going to kill me. No, but she is a massive source of inspiration to me all the time. Your partner is always one of your biggest followers, your biggest critics, and your everything actually.
Very well said. What about you, Salim?
My mom, she's no more, but her spirit lives on, and I
Oh,
even today I dream of her from time to time,
oh,
and it's like she. I feel like she watches me, and and that keeps me going. It just keeps me going. Her spirit keeps me going.
I'm
Atul is
sure. And she
saying
must be so proud
the
too.
woman question is a trick question. Atul is saying.
Yes.
We are a,
Atul is
we are a
exactly
women's
right.
organization. As a women's organization, we need to know this point. And Dhruv, what about
But I
you?
must, on that note, I must tell you that every woman is so special, and just like we just celebrated like Father's Day the other day, we celebrate Women's Day every day because all the women who do so much, they are daughters, mothers, daughters, wives, and partners,
Sisters.
sisters, and grandmothers, homemakers. They are who they. I mean, we are who we are because of them.
True. And what about you,
Beautiful.
Dhruv?
Yeah. I've got too many women in my life in a beautiful way that I can't really choose one, but my mother is right up there, the first woman who ever knew me, I guess. And my next song is going to come out, in fact, next month, and it's about, I think, some of the conversations I've had with her. It's called Higher Ground, how she helped me find that higher ground. And she continues to, like Salim is saying, that you continue to believe that you're being pulled in that direction. So I think my mother and my beautiful wife is absolutely my biggest critic. Let me start with that, and then go to the good stuff, which is also true. Which is she's always there for me and absolutely, the best person in my life, no question about it.
Super. So now we'll move on to some audience questions. So one of our members, Shruti Bagrodia, has asked, how do you plan a song like Bismillah from Coke Studio? She hears it every single morning.
Wow, thank you so much. You don't plan a song, Dia, and you really there is some divine inspiration when we sit down to create music. It just doesn't. You can't plan this. One day you're sitting at home or you're sitting in the studio and you decide to make a song, and it starts with "Tere naam se shuru hua, tere naam se khatam." It's Bismillah. It just comes.
Lovely. It just comes. So,
Salim,
Shruti
what do you want to
Mota,
say, Salim?
another Salim, sorry.
No, it's fine. I think you said it. Before Dia, your next question, I want to just say Girish Patro, who said in June 2017, I reached Mumbai. My first preference was to work with Salim Sulaiman, but unfortunately, they were not available, and I submitted my CV at the studio. After a few days, Mrs. Mrs.
Mrs. Ram
Rampal
Sampat.
called me for a meeting and hired me for a sound engineer. Girish, I'm glad that you're working with Ram. He's a great guy, and I for the past 3-4 years we've been really really busy, doing so many live concerts. But wish you all the best, and hopefully, inshallah, one day we'll meet and be able to collaborate. Over to you, Dia. I think Suleiman answered about Bismillah. It's really a very internal feeling that, when you're making a song like that. We were, I love the word Bismillah, and I only had that in my head as an idea. And, but when you're making a devotional song, no, it is never, it's everything just happens because your intent is so pure. Your niyat कहते हैं ना, niyat इतनी pure होती है that वो हो जाता है. It's just like a Bismillah, 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 Bismillah. तेरे नाम से शुरू हुआ, तेरे नाम से खत्म लीला. I promise you, there was no planning.
Wow.
It just happened. I mean, these words happened later. It was starting. तेरे नाम से शुरू हुआ, तेरे नाम पे खत्म लीला. It just happened. It was literally made in like 15 minutes, this song. So sometimes when your intent is correct and your niyat sahi hoti hai, to ho jata hai. It's like that. It's the divine power just pushes you to go there. It just pushes you to go there.
I know that Shruti Bagrodia must be very happy that you played that for her. The next question is also from a Shruti. This is Shruti Mohta, another member at Ladies Study Group, and her question is: how fulfilling is it to perform at wedding vis-a-vis a concert? Do you feel that when the crowd is distracted, does it bother you when they're doing their own thing and socializing?
Absolutely not. We love it. We both love it.
A lot of us.
Of course, there's a completely different energy when we are doing a concert, especially when we're doing college concerts or we're doing concerts, a seated concert, because you're taking people on a journey, a different kind of journey. It's a journey of ups and downs. Are we getting a feedback? Okay.
That was Druv.
That was Druv. Okay, so it's a journey. It's a journey that you go through when you're doing a concert, right? We are the path makers for that journey. We take people through the happy, fun stuff, and then take them into a spiritual journey. And then we've seen people crying on our concerts. We've seen people go crazy. We've seen people dance. We've seen all sorts of emotions. When you're doing a concert which is for a wedding or a private concert, it's a different scenario altogether. It's just party all the way. It's madness. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's enjoying. The trick in this is you never let somebody's distraction be your down point. You can't demand attention. You have to command attention. You have to be able to command that attention with the sheer power of your music. You should be able to get people to listen to you, not by saying, "Hey, listen to me." It should come with your music.
A lot of people sometimes, like a lot of artists get a little disheartened because, people are in a wedding, people are meeting people also. It's a celebration. But as an artist, when Sulaiman and me are on stage performing for a wedding, we are actually celebrating the music on stage. If there is nobody in the crowd also, no, we would still have a blast. Like I know this when Sulaiman and me are rehearsing with our band. there is, even in a rehearsal without any audience, we are partying. We are just like, Kurba hua ha ha Ada pe wafa pe. The songs just have that power and that dhamma. Whether it's that or it's the ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਟੂਰੇ ਸੁਰਮਾ ਬਟੂਰੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਚਿੱਠੋਰੇ ਬੜੇ ਹਾਏ ਫਾਏ ਦਿਲ पे ਡਰਾਤੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਤੀ ਬਾਰੀ ਦਿਲ ਗੁਲਾਟੀ ਪੁੱਛ ਵਾਏ ਵਾਏ ਚਾਹੇ ਮੈਂ ਡੂਬਾ ਬਿਸਕੁਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. So it's a fun interaction between the band and the singers. It doesn't matter if there is a crowd. And when I realized this, when you as a performer are having fun on stage, your energy is so infectious that it'll go reach out to the people. People will not stop. They will come join you. They'll sing with you. They'll sing on the floor. They'll dance with you. They'll sort of celebrate the music. But for that, you have to first enjoy the music. You have to celebrate. If you do it, the crowd will surely do it.
Sitting here, I started almost dancing hearing you sing, and I'm sure everyone who's watching just now is doing the same thing because you are amazing. It's so infectious, the energy and the enthusiasm. So we have two more questions. It's the music, yes. So two more questions. One is from Anu Dalmia, another member of ours, and she says, do you save every tune that comes to you? And how long does it take for an idea to become a song?
So there's multiple ideas constantly floating. Salim is sitting with his phone in his hand. Whenever he gets an idea, he's recording it. A lot of these ideas become songs. A lot of these ideas are just there and will become songs at some point. But you never know. See, these are all divine things. These are all. It's not in your own hands. This is all. Music is all about divinity. It's all about your faith. It's about feeling that connect and saying, hey, listen, today I feel like doing a song, a different song. How about this one? And he'll pull out something from his phone and say, let's try and work on this song and try and make it, let's try and do something with it. It's a very divine atmosphere that you work with.
Yeah, like for instance, we are coming up with four new singles right now. One is a really incredible funky track. It's a duet. I want to talk about it more, but you'll hear it very soon. One is an absolute classic ballad. It's a beautiful love song, which we haven't done in a while. One is a Punjabi out and out kind of like an heavy kind of a song. It's a hardcore party song. But it's fully in Punjabi. And then the fourth song is a very Disney, beautiful love song duet again, but it's very Disney-ish sort of a song. So we have different moods, for coming out very soon. And all these songs we made under this lockdown.
Wow. I think we are all going to be waiting for these releases very soon. And Avni is asking us, Avni Saharia, that the hope that the normal concert is going to get back on track soon is there, of course. But do you feel that the demand for online platforms is going to replace the live performances?
No,
I don't think anything can replace live.
True.
Nothing, unless you have like a virtual reality concert where you wear 3D glasses and you're sitting inside the concert.
Even then, I think, Sulaiman, even then we can't. Because
even then, you can't feel the energy of watching a live concert live versus watching it virtually is very different. It will be unique, and they are both unique to each other. You might like to see a concert online, but you will definitely prefer to see it live.
Yeah,
live, absolutely. True. And one last request we have is from Ritu Almal, one of our members in Kolkata. And she says the movie Iqbal's song Aashaएं is so inspiring and perhaps the most relevant song today. Can you please sing a few lines from that for all of us?
Yeah, of course. It's one of our favorites as well. कुछ पाने की हो आस पास, कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं, हर कोशिश में हो बार बार करे दरियाओं को पार पार आशाएं. Dhruv, can you there's a disturbance in it. Can you please mute your mics? Can you mute your mic, please?
Is it from my mic?
Can you
I think
mute your
all of
mics?
us.
Okay. Let me do that.
कुछ पाने की हो आस पास, कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं, हर कोशिश पे हो बार बार करे दरियाओं को पार पार आशाएं, तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को चीर, आशाएं खिले दिल की, उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी, आशाएं खिले दिल की, उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी, आशाएं. Thank you, guys.
That was amazing. I think the most appropriate song, while you were singing, so many comments have just come in on that too. I'm going to now ask my incredible Vice President to join us, Ms. Sumita Roy. So, Ms. Sumita, can you join us, please?
Yes, sure. The pandemic has changed the world and forces us to be socially distant. Music inspires and connects us. We are delighted to thank internationally renowned music composer duo Salim Sulaiman and amazing singer-songwriter Druv Kent for giving their time and connecting with us in these disconnected times. We thank you, Salim, for lending your voice. Your music weaves a
Hold this
magic
here.
and mesmerizes us all. We thank our members, innumerable viewers, and the media for their support. Stay safe, and we will meet soon. And our next program will be announced by our President, Dia Jaiswal. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumita Di, and thank you all once again. We have truly seen today how music is definitely one of the strongest forms of magic. I now want to announce our forthcoming event at Ladies Study Group, which is going to be exclusively for our Ladies Study Group members only. Continuing with the magic of music, Ladies Study Group Happiness Forum is going to be conducting Song Bola, a musical tambola full of songs, fun, and some prizes too. So do look out for our messages from our office to register for this. It has a limited number of registrations given the format of the game. We will, however, continue with exclusive member events in the LSG Happiness Forum every month during this lockdown phase. So, should you miss out on this one and the registrations are full, we are going to have another one coming up very soon. Till then, stay safe, stay musical, enjoy the magic, and thank you all once again. Salim, Suleiman, and Dhruv, thank you so much for doing this for Ladies Study Group.
Thank you, Dia. Thank you for having us.
Thank
you,
you.
Dia.
Thank you, Dia.
And thank
Thank
you,
you,
all
Dhruv.
of you who joined us on our live comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Salim. Thanks, Suleiman.